guys, what's good? How you guys doing? My name is Taki. Welcome to Gusto Reaction on the Red Couch. Today is quite another exciting day where we have so I kind of feel like lately, right? I have to say to our fans, thank you for doing what you do. We love you guys so much. Thank you for the effort, for the energy, for the consistency. Now we see what you guys put into all of this to make it work and all of that. Your energy, your share, your likes, your comments. It's really, really, really amazing and we love it. Thank you for all of that. But then you can also do better. Please share to your friends. Tell them to tell somebody that at Gusto TV, we are doing something amazing. Today, we're having another amazing conversation with my usual guys. Today, quite different because Mide is in the building to come join us and have amazing conversation. We're still mourning Mohbad and we pray that God grants the family fortitude to bear that great loss. Quickly, let me introduce my guests to you guys today so you get to see them. I have with me Abubi and Mide. Mide, what's good? How you doing? The fact that I'm wearing glasses, where's my glass? Are you whining us? Are you guys whining us here? Are you playing?
I don't want person to wear glasses.
Are you sidelining me like this?
Thinking about that actually. You guys should come through actually. You guys should come. Not that you should come about it. Come to the comment section and tell us what you think about this one. How you doing, bro?
I did.
How's everything?
Wow,
Tomorrow is the weekend, bro. And then we're back to Premiership. I'm so happy. That's because like international.
At least, yeah. Some people
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't. I won't take that on this set. And
some people spent the entirety of the international break, reliving what happened before the ones that lost, the ones that lost Nottingham Forest, the ones that
slipped
all the way down the Emirates,
to
what's
the
Oceanic.
You know what surprised me? There's this particular team, right?
Yeah.
The Red Blue. I'm not looking at them with the Red Blue.
No.
Now,
I'm not ready to be able to this one.
yeah, do you understand?
Come on.
But they don't have sponsor. It's clear. But their players, they went to the international. We thought it's the club. One of them went to the international break. Messi did in one team on the floor. The second one went to support Arsenal legacy. Chelsea took, of course, the name. England took their players. We stopped there. Hey, it was good.
Don't worry, Jerry.
How you doing, bro?
Gentle.
Yeah, aside the fact that we just talk about sport, over the week we saw some we witnessed a very sad occurrence in media space, music space entirely. We lost Mohbad at the time, and it's so sad. Time was 27, and back and forth we were happening. And then after the event, because I know we've done a reaction about this, we've spoken about this already, but then we'll be seeing a lot of revelations coming forth. A lot of talk have been coming forth. How this is this, they beat her for sets, one to and then people's pleas that why are these videos, why are this evidence, why are all of these things just making sense today? Really?
It's really just a sad situation, and I feel like ever since the whole story came out, I've just been angry. Like that's my main primary emotion right now. It's just like anger. Usually since I saw that first video, there was a video that first bust my head. Don't get Mohbad as Zlatan was shooting that video.
Yeah.
Somebody just came out of nowhere. And it's just like it's something that happens, but when you see the extent of it, like it just because this is the stuff that we've seen. We don't know we don't know the ones that we do not see, the ones that happen in places where there were no cameras, right? So it's just, and we can talk about the people that knew, the people that had these videos, why did they release it? At the end of the day, the only person that can really answer all those stories, all those questions is not really here anymore. And all we can just say is like rest in peace, Mohbad. It's very, very annoying that we have talented people from because I can relate to Mohbad because I grew up in Ikorodu as well, and he grew up in Ikorodu. Like a lot of the things I talked about. Yes. So
he'll be from the island, just so you know. These are the two boys from the island.
So some of the things that he talks about, like when I watch some of his interviews, like I can relate to a lot of it, like his his struggles growing up and stuff like that, and it just feels like someone that felt he has gotten there, gotten to that when he signed to a label, felt he has gotten to that stage. Then all of a sudden he starts saying, "Oh, you have to do this, you have to do that before you." And trust me, I've heard all the stories in the industry as well, but it's just a sad situation because sometimes you don't know what you're getting into until you get into it as well. You can't really blame anybody, especially not someone that is not even here to defend himself anymore.
True, fact. Before we leave this talk, because it's quite sad already. It's quite sad. It will be lately we had the police reports coming out to say, I feel like Nigerians came forth and then they called name police. People are tagging those who have police, those who have police, a lot of that and everything. And then the police have come to say, want to make a step. And then want to first and foremost exhume the body. Want to now do what people expect us to have done before. Want to do an autopsy to now show really what happened. Do you think at this point it's not just time we just let everything go and let's go, or you think it's good to go back and all of that?
Well, I mean, it would be easy to say we should let go and let everything move, but it would stir up more of this type of things to happen, and people feel like, okay, since they could let this one go, they can still do something and let it go.
Yeah.
But if they're able to come out and verify that this particular thing happened, this is not a natural death, this was how it happened, this was what killed him, this were the things they found, the harm they found in his body and how it happened, you would know that, okay, this is not a natural death, this is a murder case and a homicide situation. So that would also put a level of consciousness on even the people who perpetrated this evil, to know that, bro, if anything like this happen again, they would find you out.
Yeah, true.
But I know this case, they may not be able to find out whatever happened to this case, but at least doing this
is going to serve as a deterrent.
Serve as a way to prevent more of stuff like this to come up.
I think I completely agree with this one. Finally on this one, like I said, I know I said finally, but then finally this event has created a new twist in town now. We're now having people against people, talks against talk, people are rising up against people. Now, to what extent do you think this can go? To what extent?
I think this entire saga is going to raise up a lot of issues, and it's going to it's a ripple effect. It's going to touch everywhere. It's going to touch how labels scout their artists, how they sign their artists, contract terms, label structure. Like, they already talked about, a lot of labels in this country don't have the right structure. You understand? The proper structure for an artist to grow. And the reason why an artist should pick a label is because the artist as an individual doesn't have that structure. So you are going to that label to leverage on the label structure
to build yourself.
Because, okay, if you're an artist and you're just growing by yourself, it might take you like 20 years. 20 years.
Let's just say.
You understand? Normally, some people have
lifetime.
Grace.
Yeah, some have grace. Yeah, they're
some
for
have
some
grace, and for some blow. I'm not talking about those people, and those people are like 1%, right? So the remaining 99% that are looking for labels that have that structure, you understand? A lot of the time, you just see that label that, this artist that I know is big, and he has a label, so that means he will be able to. It doesn't always translate to that. So a lot of these things we need to now start putting into fine print, and it's just so sad that we don't really like to document. We don't really like to document our processes. We gatekeep a lot. We gatekeep a lot of things, like the process involved in building a label, because we need more labels, and not just labels, not just structure, not just anyhow labels, not one apartment in Lekki label. Right?
I thought you just did something now. Well, it's fine. I got that.
It's the fact now.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it, but Yahoo boy labels. It's just
not just renting 2-bedroom flats.
Exactly. It's annoying. all like they feel like all they need to do is just put money on an artist, and once it blows, like this blowing is not the thing. How we build a community around the artist? Is this artist sustainable?
Yeah.
Can he, if you leave him now, can he sustain himself? Those are the things that we're looking at. So a lot of these issues are going to be raised, and rightly so. I just hope that we can see a lot of these things to a rightful conclusion where we can get to a stage where artists are protected, and not just artists, labels and investors themselves are protected. Exactly.
Anyway, just let me end the conversation. I want us to go straight to what we have for you guys today, and that is artists and their contracts, and how it always, the ripple effect, how it always turned out. For most artists we've seen so far, they've not always had like a very amazing effect. It has always been, whenever they had to go, it has always been like they've left on a sad note. So all of that I want to talk about them today, and we've got mention some notable names that have been involved in this saga as well. Before I consider that, I'm saying this. I usually don't care. I don't give 2F about this. But then I have to say it because I know video was around. So me and these people around like I fight before this set. And me, I just have to say it because that's in my mind. But then it's fine. It's a very big game, bro. And like my boy, I remember. I remember I was telling you like, oh, let me employ you. And then whenever we get angry, I say, you always laugh about it. You just want stupid in bed. Like, you know what maybe you won't talk. But then if you tell you go stammer, I don't do it again. But I'm sorry. I was angry at the time because she just was in my head. Anyway, let's talk about that quickly. I'll start with somebody the industry respected a lot. That's Olamide. Now, Olamide has an image that looks undentable. He has that image outside that looks like this guy's the perfect person. When you get not, I don't know about his personal life, right?
Yeah.
But then, if you want music mentoring, if you need that, this guy looks like the go-to guy. From the Olamide space, I'm covered. As much as that is true, we've had cases that really have not been too pleasant. Now, the same say, if it is one, it could be a chance. But when you now become 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm looking like, okay, maybe we should really, really look into it. And at this point, it's not looking like Nigerians are deliberately not looking into it. Let's begin with Olamide and Timi at the time. Now that was, we all saw who the lady was. She was a promising person. She was amazing. And then, years down the line, she didn't fulfill that prospect we thought she was going to do. Few songs had it under the label, very few. So at the point we read that few came out to say his hard drive went missing, all her song went awry, she doesn't have a song with them anymore, back and forth and all of that. And Timi has always, she has never ceased talking, always coming out, hey. I didn't even like Black Solange like a lot. At this point, whenever you see, even yesterday, she came online yesterday to have a conversation. How the wife maltreated her, she was a maid in the house and all of that. When you see stuff like this, Olamide and Timi, what comes to mind?
Well, before now, I know I have never actually thought about the whole Timi story very well.
Yeah.
But after, we saw the previous one she did, and I saw one she said about it yesterday. And now the previous one really gets me because I'm like, okay, this is a label. There are so many contracts, there are so many things that these guys are doing.
Yeah.
That okay, we have 5 artists under us, we are promoting this. You may not have gotten to your tongue.
Yeah.
But this one that she mentioned, how she's being used as house girl, and like this wife takes her around and pushes her. That one is, that's out of this. That's out of it. It's not. The first thing is, why are you always at Olamide's house? You are an artist under the label. You should have nothing to do with the wife. You should focus on Olamide, the record, the label building, wherever they do their thing, not in his house. So for whatever reason, and I remember when she said that they brought her all the way from Ilorin to Lagos. Now, unless there was a case of when you come to Lagos, you're going to stay with your hand.
Okay.
So, and there's an agreement. Now, that might be a test for Olamide. Just come, stay in my house. Olamide may not know that the wife will do this. And then when the wife started doing those things, it may not, I don't know for Olamide, I can't be in this way. It may not be easy for him to just pack her away and stuff. And when it comes to the music part, that she said she has a couple of songs. She mentioned 15 songs. I think that
What 25?
25.
Yeah.
25. That few said the hard drive will go missing as well. Well, I can't speak for anybody, but I remember some 2 years ago. Was it 2 years or 3 years ago? What was his name? Fireboy said that he records at least 40 songs every week. 40 songs.
Yeah, I think that's what
Right. So in my head, between then and now, how many songs do you think you would have recorded? How many songs has he dropped? That's like a 10% of what's
Less than
recorded, less than 10%. So for me, I don't want to call it. I don't want to call it whatever. I don't have a name to call it. But if you feel like 25 songs are gone, I mean, let's do more songs. Do you understand? And then she said that same statement that she has gone out and has done plenty other songs and that she has not released anyone. So it's more like you've done some no sales. There's no evidence. So that's still tough. The other way lost no evidence saying you do song. This one you talk, so you don't do plenty song. We never see them. So like, and labels don't work the way artists want it to work. That once I come here, once I record 5 songs, oh yeah, now no start to be pushed, no drop. It doesn't work that way. Especially when you're not the only artist.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you're the only artist, the labels must be completely convinced with themselves that this song will go.
Okay, maybe this is a point for me in example.
Yeah.
That this is what could have been the reason. The obvious, because like I said, it was not in the house with them. It was not in the contract signed. This is just what could have happened. Do you agree with me now?
Not quite. And it's not like I disagree.
Yeah.
It's just coming from another angle. I don't believe anybody is perfect.
Yeah, true.
I don't believe anybody is perfect. And for every situation of a story where an artist has said Olamide has done this, there's some case, an artist that you can raise up and say
Olamide has done.
You understand? So this is the same thing I'm saying regarding like labels and artists, like as YBNL was before. It's not sustainable for your artists. The ones that could do, because they had to want to dispute talents, like, and the work rate to go with it. You can say probably she did that, but we're not there. We're not there. You can't say for real. Understand, right? There could be a plenty of reasons that could have occurred. My own is when you take a young girl from a lorry and bring her to Lagos. You know you are in charge of. You are taking full responsibility of anything that she has to do and whatnot. The situation she painted, like you said, we're not there, but it's far from ideal as a label. It's far from ideal as a label, and it should not have happened, right? It should not have happened. And she also mentioned her being discriminated against because she was gay. I don't even know, I wasn't there. But if that was the case, it's also wrong. Like, this is, you sign up because of her talents. You sign up because you know she can sing. But then, and the fact about our songs don't display, telling her to go and do another one. It doesn't work like that. Artists are very attached to their art. They are very attached to it. Like, artists, like, there could be a particular song there that she loves. She actually released albums after she left her. Albums, like multiple albums. It's just that she doesn't have that promoted.
So before you continue, right? Mm-hmm. I want to ask you a question. Do people's songs get missing?
Songs can get missing anyway.
Okay, so if you're attached to a song that gets missing, what do you do with the label?
If it was a fault for the song that missing, she probably won't say anything.
Okay, yeah.
But it wasn't a fault that the song got missing. And we can't blame it on Fuse. It could have been anything. It could have been a computer crash.
Sorry, but you know why I feel like this is happening. Them talk like me. Everybody know who I want to talk about. You know the guy. The guy one day they go shoot wedding. You know the guy I talk about. They go shoot. You know the guy. The guy that my guy. He go shoot wedding. So
Person wedding.
when they pay full money, he shoot wedding. He shoot and save am. He come as put memory card for computer empty.
Card no read.
No, aside joke. This is really like 2-3 weeks ago. We're laughing about it in the studio. You went to the wedding. They paid for it. You cannot call this audience back,
Bro.
after shooting the wedding. The guy came here.
You go on, you go to sweat.
Imagine your friend is missing. You're not calling somebody that you know cannot help you. Calling the
You go to sweat.
So they say, oh yeah, come. Let me know that I do. They call them. We use Apple. We use desktop. We use everything. Nothing. Last, they have to match pictures to do video.
Go to the person's house and prostrate.
I beg. You cannot because you cannot put the guy. Don't be in fault. The guy said the people that they don't see the couples, they will collect what they have. So because those things happen, since the memory card can be anything.
Yeah.
So if it happens, don't you think it is safe to say that Fuse could have, just like you said actually, I just could have mistakenly portrayed that it also could not be Fuse's fault.
Yeah.
But then just like you're saying, was she, because she has done this, like this is the second time she's coming to speak about this.
This is not the second time. This is the
Bro,
5,000.
I would say like the multiple
This
times
is
she's
the
coming.
5,000 times she's coming out to say about, and every time she has come to say about it, she has been attacked, but she has not stopped talking about it.
Sincerely.
There are people that she's not the only one, right? So there's like, and I wouldn't blame it on Olamide. It's just he wants to help people. He loves to help people, right? But that's at that point that structure was not there. A lot of artists suffered for that. Look, that structure was not there. And right now, I think they have that structure in Contractual Empire, so they have that kind of like structure there right now. But now he knows that you don't just pick every artist that does some freestyle on Instagram and style. You understand? He only picks the one that have to work with and they are exceptionally talented, just like Fireboy and okay, who's that guys are right now. So that works for him. But after that stage, I just feel like we grow, we live and learn. Like it's life, we live and learn, bro. Some of these things, it's people's lives, right? It's people's lives. There's this other rapper that had an issue with him. The rapper is dead now. Pele. Had an issue with him. It was under you just search like Pele. You see some songs that you see some very good. But I didn't even like the guy's rap. It was really bitter until he died. Not the situation. And a couple of other artists also like that, you understand? These other guys was signed at the same time, signed Chukwu.
Yeah, at that time, there's just too much.
Yeah, exactly. So they are this for every artist that you know that grew up on that land. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just that structure is very important in the label, right? So it needs to be there. And it's good that it's there right now, but in the past, it was not.
But I mean, looking at the way you're saying it now, it's not as if, for me, I feel like it's not as if the structure is not there completely. But
no, it's not like it's not there.
There's a loophole.
Yes, exactly.
I feel like,
exactly.
Because if you look at it, this happens in every label, both local and international. Artists where there are labels where there are multiple artists and just 2 or 3 are doing what others are there, and
you see this.
Yes,
This is about the details.
Yes,
it's about the details. In the label, like there should be different departments. So different. You can't say, okay, this person, I signed this person, give her a manager. That manager will do every single thing. You understand? Manager will burn out. Even the artist will burn out. It's just, I'm not saying that was the case.
Yeah.
Right? But even if you don't have people that you employ, but you know that this artist will need something. Like, for example, psychologist, a shrink. Because it's the industry itself is taxing on your mental health.
Yeah, true.
So a lot of these labels need to consider a lot of these things. Like they are the importance is the details.
It's not just about making sure good shows.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of labels don't do artist development. When you sign an artist, You gauge, okay, at what stage is this artist is in his trajectory? What does he need to get to that point where he's now that product that you want to sell? Some artists, they just release them. They don't know how to dress.
Yeah. They do not. I know a lot of artists that don't know how to talk to camera.
Exactly. You don't know. No media training. Nothing. So a lot of these things, artists suffer from them, and when you put them out, the audience will eat them up raw because they will notice the flaws. They will notice every single flaw.
And especially if you're in Nigeria, where the audience has your time, you need to get the because Nigeria face you. No, I'm not joking. Because Nigeria face you might need to offer for like 2 years. You must not see what concerns food. Except you are that strong. But then moving on from T, another person want to talk about Olamide is another amazing guy, talk about Lighter. Now Lighter is also a victim of the situation. Now Lighter one can be twisted because we cannot say now Olamide. You cannot because lately we are since Lighter come on.
I mean, like Lighter himself will tell you that it was at fault.
We'll come and still come and say Olamide, I'm sorry, you still don't know that and everything. Now Lighter case could be likened to Impatience.
Yeah.
To be likened to that. Just like what
a lot of artists have that.
Thank you.
So
now, which people to you now? What? How we've seen artists, we've seen management. Now let's talk about the time where there are like so many artists. Right, that was one of them, and it was Impatient. Now, don't you think it was rewarding to be Impatient? Because I won't blow. You start me come and say, man, I won't blow. People from my area don't say I do Olamide. And they see people, that's the way maybe they do. And they see people, them as they go top, them as get 1 billion. If you go check some guys for Mavis, some Magics, the highest chain are 1.2 million. Yeah. So don't you think it's fair? I'm like, bro.
So the thing is, for these artists, if we are, let's take it back to Lighter. For Lighter's case, first of all, he was not completely signed to label, right? At first, so he was not entirely. The label cannot entirely say they are in charge of him. Yes, they brought him in so that they could see how they can sign him to their contract, but he said that it was not pen signed. That okay, I am a member of now, and so this is where the impatience now comes in. Now, the point where I feel like he was impatient was the fact that first of all, you know you are not fully signed, which means these people cannot prioritize you yet.
Start to do you
understand? So right now they are just trying to make you see the business. Understand how they flow with, okay, this is the artist that is signed. How are we running with this artist that is signed? What is this artist that is signed doing? What are the tasks that it has? You are not signed. You should already be preparing yourself that, okay, I am a prospective person that I want to sign. Let me, but before this eventually sign, I should have learned this. I should have recorded this because I'm sure they were allowing him to record. I could have recorded this. Let it flow. Learn all of these things. But he was impatient because he felt like he was very talented. And he was talented. Your talent can't do it alone, because if it was just your talent, you should have just stayed alone and release your song that blow. But it doesn't work that way. And look at how he eventually went. He left the label, did a song with Davido. Davido paid for the whole song, took him to I think Zimbabwe or so for a video shoot. Did everything for the remix. And still, he's still not able to sustain it because there is no structure, there's no legal structure to push it. So it's not just some artists just feel like
you just need to
blow. It's not about just blowing. It's not just about.
Because when you blow now,
in fact, when you blow, that's when the pressure increases.
The worst thing you can have as an artist is for everybody to know you, but you
never get anything.
Because they climb boss, for your song,
they for Spotify.
now why they feel I don't call their name. Now why they feel sorry for some people when they want show like this, when you can't come back from the show, can't come back to your house, you don't get money. And then all of us don't see for people, don't vote for you. You don't do, they don't create fan base. If they go and call them Midites. I'm a Midite. All the Midites don't go carry food. I don't call name. I don't call anybody. I call anybody's name. If you feel attacked, now you know what you do. I don't call your name. But anyways, let's move on from Olamide. Another guy also. I spoke about him briefly. He's Don Jazzy. Yeah. Now that's another darling. People love Don Jazzy more than food. Like Don Jazzy is one person that the same way people love Olamide, people love Don Jazzy. Now they are not. You won't call them goats. They only have 3 goats. Davido, Boy, those kids. They're not. But then these are people that if you can beat your chest You know, come online and say, Jazzy is powered. Before that night, you will sell your food and go and buy paracetamol. You will sell that food and buy drugs because you have it and you face depression. You might likely take your life because they will come for you. But then I missed all of these people that should go giveaways and all of that. Yeah, that's from that side. Now let's go back to Mohbad at the time. Now we saw the trace between the bands and when it went on. In 2013, when they cool too, when they came out online and was ranting, you should be like, what have I done? I sent you, back and you just kept mute.
Yeah.
Not till last year, when finally you just take your song. So now went on when it goes DSK, not the DSK. But for the you haven't listened to the song. The song was just flying, it was just on the air. So you know hungry, it's like okay, it doesn't exist. But then till 2013 till 2022, that's about 9 years. Finally, okay, I make it set okay now you can do something. Now that's another person who also has been in the mix of contract and this thing. What do you think really happened?
I would say it's more of the same, probably with Olamide, but even though Jazzy will tell you a lot of the things that he has learned is as a result of making mistakes. So being a CEO or being an owner of a label business, you are a person who will live for 1 week, right? For 1 week or let's say 1 month without knowing what get contact. So fight will definitely happen. The same label. It's now how you sort that fight. And now going back to the Nigerian music industry, as when it was like when we're coming up with this one Afrobeat and starting to grow Afrobeats and the likes, like we're not really particular on contracts. I don't know if they had contracts. I can't speak for even if they had probably not as detailed as they should be. You understand? So a lot of ambiguities and trying to cause all these kind of fights. Right? Now people the guys will not make that mistake because he has he even has organs that are investing. So you can't make that kind of mistake. You have to. But then just like okay, we're trying to go racing and together where the bands come here, one day come here, do this one, this one, this one, this one. Yeah, exactly, you understand? So a lot of those things, some things were not strictly stated, right? So it will cause a lot of issues. The issue I see with Don Jazzy is the accusation from Blacklisting, which I don't know how true it is. Should the key accusing us of Blacklisting because he said it sounded like when they go. So Don Jazzy blacklisted him on radio, told them not to play his song because it sounded like it's artist. I don't know how true that is.
I think for that, you're accused for using his superpowers because at the point we heard report that it couldn't be true.
But the truth is everybody loves Don Jazzy. So if his artist is taking up space, definitely someone's song is not getting paid.
I think what we heard was that he was paying people not to play Fireboy song. I
don't know if that would actually work. I'm not sure how well that would work because when you say someone will like Fireboy, you can't tell every single AP in Lagos how to play someone. You can't. It's just someone like Fireboy. Well, I'm just going to be small person.
Actually.
So I'm not sure that's why when it comes to the whole blacklisting, I'm just like, can this actually be? But I don't want to say anything because I'm not there.
Actually,
if it is, fine. It's a very bad thing.
Okay.
It's a very bad thing. But I can't see how it would work in the real sense of it. But coming back to Don Jazzy and Mavins and it's a beautiful tragedies in the books, and you see them come to this stage where they are like the blueprints for labels. Like they literally have an academy where they develop their artists before bringing them out into the world, and that's just the best thing that any artist can ask for, any talent can ask for. And the academy doesn't just work with artists, it even goes as far as managers, and the like, producers and the like. So it's a beautiful. This is what every label should aspire for. So even if you don't have the label kind of structure, at least at least even if you're a small label, have the basic structure, have the basic things. Oh, your artist needs this. You know who you are going to make. Your artist needs media training. I'm getting this way to come and teach him. You are looking at small things. Oh, my artist needs performance training. I'm getting this person that is like a very good performer to come and teach him. Okay, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. You don't need to start. You don't need to employ everybody, but you need to make sure that your artist learns all of them. Exactly.
Anyways, moving away from our darling, that's talking about the Jazzy. Let's move on that team that has similar situation. Maybe not. No, I think it was quite different. It's not that he abuses them or uses them. It's the fact he steals from them. Now, it's my darling. That's something that Davido. Now, it will be hard to talk about Davido. Now, Davido also has a team. The end of the team that has been in the game for quite a while. From the likes of Mike Milcons, Peruzzi, Dremo. It even went as far as they created a band, certain PG that even spread above. Whether you're an artist, if he likes you, just come, just join the team and everything. Now, they reached the point that, unlike others, Davido was one using their own song to blow. So, reports after days of even fall, he went lines bankruptcy. And then so Peruzzi has Peruzzi an amazing songwriter. Till date, everyone can confirm that Peruzzi is an amazing songwriter. So Peruzzi writes something for him. Peruzzi has his own song, and I like his own song. Take it. Now this time that this line of where Peruzzi but the song made it to the better time on Davido's album. And then people were like, okay, now this is Peruzzi's song, we're taking. And then, though Peruzzi has come out to say that's not true, it's a lie, even if it were to be true, they expect him to come and say it's true. But then, this conversation in the news that this guy, Davido, takes people's song.
Well, for Davido, Davido is not an amazing songwriter, and he's not ashamed of it. He allows you to write a song and sing it, because sometimes even you that wrote the song, you be singer, you share that, and you feel sweet, you will be singer. So, and he leverages on that. He doesn't have to stress himself to write all of his songs. If so many of you that are here and are writing songs, and so you write songs that you cannot sing well, and if I can sing you well, it's like, let's do a trade about that. I pay you for this, give me this. And I'm sure since they are in the same label, all Peruzzi's pen game will not be for free. Peruzzi will obviously get his own money, get his own cover. So that's why everybody's happy. And that's why he's not going to come out and say he stole the song.
He was not happy with that place.
I paid. So you can't, except for the ones we heard before, and still he has been paid.
And you will see the chop of the song.
You understand? You will still have his own royalty from some of the songs. The same way Techno also has his royalty for it. Do you understand? So all of them would, you understand, get their. So for the video, it's not as if he's stealing their song. The video has never come and tell people that I'm a very amazing songwriter. I write my song. He has never seen it. If the song no be you, you go shall sing and well, you go blow. I remember even Adekunle Gold wrote 1 million for him on a good time album.
You mentioned that.
Do you understand? Wrote timeless. So as long as you are getting your own part of this, there's no this is a contract. That's a good contract for him.
There are artists in this industry that they don't even want to sing again.
Yeah, they just want to write.
They just want to write.
And I feel like Peruzzi is going to that. It's going to that point. Because Peruzzi you write.
He write.
This song.
There's another artist. I won't share his name. I won't be the vibe. I won't be team earlier this year. Like when he started playing me the kind of song that like you won't even know that this mention any big artist now up to Chris Brown, bro. Up to Chris Brown, they write songs for Chris Brown, and it's not talking about in Nigeria, no. And it's not one of the big three.
Oh, this was shocking. Nigeria, they write songs for Chris Brown.
A song that you know that Chris Brown featured
someone
in Nigeria. That was one that wrote it. Yes. And it was not like it was one that featured on the song, but it was one that wrote it. So we're talking about this.
Something that comes to my head now. I don't know how it's my head, but this
Well, let's do like that. Move on. So,
Get out.
that's the thing. The whole I love the GMW this thing. Actually, because you can't say they don't have structure.
You can't say it's here.
You can't say they have structure. You can't say they have the best structure. They are tightly knit, like they're like a family, understand? And they move as a family. So yeah, anything they need, they find it in themselves. You understand?
Yeah.
It works. It works for them. You can't really point out to many examples of artists that have been like that are doing shit, well like that. All the artists have done well relatively, and they didn't have issues with them. You
Even if you
understand?
didn't do well,
Even if you didn't do well, you probably know why you didn't do well, right? So I feel like DMW, I love the label as a label. I love them and what they do, right? The whole thing about rights and everybody.
I feel like
uses songwriters. There's no single person mentioned there, even down to Burnout Boy, bro. I'll
Get
tell you that
songwriters.
Burnout Boy is
Do you
songwriters.
understand? So
You
everybody.
you don't know everything. Actually.
I mean, last 2 years or so, that Olamide did not drop any project. He was writing a couple of stuff for people. He wrote for Tiwa Savage.
Exactly. Olamide
He
writes.
wrote for Tiwa
He
Savage.
writes for people too. Recently, he wrote
Do you understand? He
for
wrote for 10 years as well.
Yeah,
So he writes for people. So writing is just
anybody can use it.
And even Tenny writes.
then you
So anybody can write for anybody.
anybody.
Tenny wrote
You can
like
write
that.
a song. You can write a song and you don't sing well.
Yeah, Tenny
Wrote like that for
Tenny
people.
wrote like that. Yeah,
So
actually.
it's just
It's just the way it even works is like it's not even like
It's not a big
it's
deal.
not even like they call you and say, oh, come and write song for me.
No.
It's like, okay,
I write
you
this
play
song
song for this person. I like this song. I beg you, come and give me this song. Come and give me this song. And they give you the song and you go and
That's how it works.
Go and-
they give you money now.
That's how it works.
This is as simple. Alpha, you hear song. Oh, Alpha, I like this song. Go, come give me the song. Come give me the song. Take
Don't
am.
go.
That's
How
what
much
they
I will
love.
give you?
I don't know.
Nah,
That's what a lot
nah.
of DJs do now.
Ah.
You think DJ
For example, yeah, I was about to mention this name too. Do you think that?
This say they go.
Right time. I remember when Larry was also doing his own this thing that he sang one song with Davido. I said Davido, Wizkid. Wizkid sang the whole song, but it was a Larry song. Larry Gaga. It was his song. He rewrote everything, but Wizkid just sang. Tell Larry have you sing? No, he don't write the song. He don't make money.
Wow.
Like right now, that song is a Larry song.
Exactly. Thinking about it, actually, it was when I checked Ashake's album, Walk Over, I swear that Olamide wrote more than 60%.
Do you understand?
But anyways, moving on from this one is also another guy. This one is him and the label, not the label and him this time. Talking about Kiss Daniel. Now that was fine. That was when he came back to make a very big tweet where he said, the game is the game. There's a cabal and all of that. And then Kiss, after he left G World by the time, there've been so many tweets to him. Kiss has never won an award like in the country space. Like they sideline now. As big as Buga was, like recently it said that he didn't even have any major endorsement till recently when he just got one and all of that. Kids are just been the moment he left, just like you said, some artists are only 1% of those artists that you just be that you are good and God just do it for you. Now be Kiss.
Yeah.
You just say as you come out himself, see they very very relevant.
I love Kiss Daniel so much. I love his music. It's just there's some things that a lot of people say. If they tell me to mention somebody that I feel like is blacklisted in the industry, it's probably Kiss Daniel, right? And I'll say again, I know they did.
I've been out.
So, and I cannot start comments come and tell you about things I've had because I've heard stories, but I was not in any of the stories, so I cannot come and tell you that this is fact, right? It's just I feel like he has probably made more than a few enemies around. Some of the stories I've heard, it was at fault. I don't know how true it is. But some of the stories I heard, like they were not sounding like right, but I don't know whether it was true, and if it was true, if he's changed now, if he's a changed man. I don't believe that people change so much like that. But it's just people really some people really just don't want to work with him anymore.
Yeah.
And if some of those stories are true, they're probably getting their rights, right? But I just feel like a lot of these things should be there should be like stories. Like we need to document a lot more stories so we know some of these things. Like you don't need to wait until like okay, it could be that everybody is just saying what they like about him, right? But if we don't get that story, if we don't get everybody's perspective, we will never know, right? So it just happened that okay, like this Muslim, I don't know if saying anybody could die. I'm just saying like we don't want another situation where it is for someone to die before. Everybody starts coming out with their own story. This one talk their own story. This one talk their own story for you. You understand? So if not this guy there at fault right now, talk him.
What we know?
Maybe we know. You understand? And if they not being there for
Talk him.
make himself talk his own story, maybe we know. Because a lot of the things, so many things happen underground, and we just we just brush over it, and until it now becomes this big thing that everybody like we now start sitting down talking about it right now. Yeah, when in reality, if that we had documented our stories properly, we probably won't make all of this.
It would be yes. Still on this, which I like to end with this one is the fact that recently we saw where Kizani announced that he wants Flyboy now, and then he announced that Emperor Jazzy is now the new CEO, and then we know that Emperor was also one of the guys that we didn't want to at the time. So it making it look like he has made peace with these guys. Like, okay, we are cool, yeah. Come, let's work together again. Even at that, do you think those were what happened or contributed to the fact that he was losing out on awards, he wasn't getting endorsement deal as little as Fireball? He has a Pepsi deal. As stars. Ashake will just come, he don't they collect. So do you think, though he has come and say, don't be my business, don't be your apartment, I get money past your fave, I don't even care, if you like give me, I get money. All of those was he saying all of that. You saw this Instagram live where he said, in his words, said Yoruba, he said, Molowo be weary. Like he said it like, Molowo, I have money, I'm like a madman. But behind all of these things, do you think these are what is happening, making him lose that on all of this things?
Well, like Media said, there are some things he has made a few enemies, just, and so there are people who don't want to work with him anymore. And so some of these people might have mouths in some of these award bodies. So when they are having, it's not like they would completely just blacklist the song. But let's say, for example, you're having a conversation of, we have 10 songs here, and out of these 10 songs, we're trying to pick one. We have 10 people that is voting. Now, out of those 10 people, 7 of them have issues with Kizz Daniel. I'm just saying. It obviously means that they would vote the Kizz Daniel songs out. That takes him out of the concern already. So you understand how that could, have a few effects on the awards. But another thing is, for me, I feel like Kizz Daniel, like he said, that he has money. He's doing well when it comes to the DSPs. He's having his number, he's making his money. So that works for him.
That's an artist can ask for really.
Do you understand? It works for him. So for the endorsement, I don't know how much he cares about it, but I feel like if he cares so much about it, let's be honest, he would have gotten one. Because another thing that makes people to put you on their payroll when it comes to endorsement is that you have to be consistent with what you're doing.
The thing with it is brands talk. Like if you have issues with a brand, they would or more than one brand. Like I feel like he's had one too many issues with a few brands, and it has now exactly because
let's know
brand managers and whoever is in charge, they will talk within their circles and
no, let's leave him out.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of things could have been good.
Anyways, there was this other one. What's his name again? That was pointed gun.
Are you talking about Runtown?
Runtown, yeah. Runtown also has similar experience again. You know, and I want to say more, so that we just move on. Now, because if we start mentioning names of artists who have issues, as a matter of fact, even the Mohbad,
we come here today.
even the Mohbad way past, he has issues with Naira Marley.
Yeah.
Which
that
one was
YC and Tiny.
There's Mehdi.
There's
P Square.
There's Mehdi, yeah, there's Mehdi.
Cynthia Morgan.
Even the P Square himself, they get
Yeah,
issue.
used to be their own brother. So
all these issues was just
there are certain
not
I don't know how to
not was the word not
the information we have is not concrete enough.
no it's about the contract not
I was
not
also
putting
going
it
to
in fine
mention. I was
print
also
not
going to mention that.
not including the details and stuff like, because like contract when people hear contract or lawyers like some like, especially in Nigeria you start getting defensive, right? But it shouldn't be, because the contract is there to safeguard your interests.
True.
You understand? So if you and this person now want to go into a partnership, or let's say the label wants to sign you have to go through the contract
completely. Every
and you have to be sure that your interests, because the label will be trying to
build on their own
interests. You have to be sure that your own interest is safeguarded. If not, there's no point in signing it, because at the end of the day,
we get issues like this.
That come back to the same issues.
Anyways, before we go for a commercial break, this is me telling Nigerians that all of you that bought new iPhone, I'm not sure you read that now. Now waiting they talk now. All of you that bought new phone, new TV, new camera, new lens, new eyeglass. If you buy it at the bank, they give you at the back. But because they write it small, all of you don't read. All of you, I bought malaria drugs. I won't say more than that. Yeah. Malaria drugs, like, for your own life, you won't read what the owner says you will take it to. You walk out down before 4-3-3. Guys, stay tuned. Anyways, guys, this is where we actually get to play our game, but I'm really not in the mood of playing it. I don't know. I think game is just
maybe because
game will distract us.
Maybe because I will win, so you just have to skip that part and just declare me the winner.
This guy.
Just move on. Just move on from it. So we don't have to waste too much time. We just declare me the winner.
Don't let him play many games with you.
You know, just move on with it.
Move on. Leave it.
Now they play my games with you. You know, say Nami will win.
I don't think
this part doing Gadela Morio for me. They are doing Gadela Morio for me. Yo, guys, quick one. We're going to straight to the game. We're playing one game. Just one game. Shebi wants to you want to say is your head that let's go. Strictly I call on. I'm going to do a call on, and just as simple. I'm going to call on Mohbad song. Call on Mohbad song. Any Mohbad song you know. You have mind, you want to win, Abi. Let us win. Mohbad song you know. Beast and Peace. You're out.
Backside.
No, he's out already, me and you.
Okay.
Mohbad song you know. Beast and Peace.
Backside.
KPK.
Majesty.
You will have been,
I can move on.
You see?
I can move on.
I told them, I said move on. Let us move on. I just declare me the winner.
I don't pick a place that I'm comfortable with.
I can move on. I can move on. I just tell you.
Me, I don't load answers. After Majesty, I don't put more sweet. Amy.
Ika. Well done. No, don't worry. No, it just shows that this life, when they are clapping for you, listening very well. It's nobody that's clapping for you. Now you're bad, DJ, for the wise man. Take it serious. And for just listening to JJ, they continue. They may be saying you win. Therefore, no, therefore, they people will not come and play game. No, don't come do it. Say you win.
So I just declared me the winner. Now everybody knows.
And you do it.
Now everybody knows.
Anyways, guys, let's go straight to the second part of the conversation. Zlatan is the person actually. We saw, just like you said from that video shoot, we saw Zlatan was protecting him. And we stood up. Like the video gave us a picture of he was already prepared. He knew what was going to happen. So the man, boom, he just stood up and they're like Zlatan Kurumbe, you know. And then Zlatan has been in the industry and people have been saying good things about him. I like to protect artists. I like to guide artists to make sure everything is fine. People are always have nice things to say about Zlatan at the time. But then we've also had twists about him at the same time that not being fair. So my question is this: does this make him different from the rest in the so-called game cabal?
Well, I don't know how the difference comes in. I would say from the video, obviously he did a very noble thing. Standing up for his friend, standing up for his guy. I believe that anybody in that situation should, but not everybody can. Right?
True.
If you can, you do. If you can't,
You run.
Follow on.
because if
Someone
not
said
me,
that if it's in a young John or
because if not me, I could not find one window since.
If now,
young John or crayon in that place.
yeah, hello boss. Boss, we're being assaulted here. I don't know what's happening, but they're baiting Mohbad. Boss, what do we do? You said waiting. I don't know. Where are you? Where are you?
Not
Boss,
to run, though.
Arasta is speaking with me. I can't leave her. Leave her.
But for real though, it was a very noble thing, and well, he knew the people, so he knew that he could sway them, could talk to them, and like not everybody can do that. Right?
Zlatan is a street boy. He grew up from the streets.
Yeah,
So,
so Sonny Kurodu boy.
Yeah.
So
knows.
he is. But I love Zlatan. I've loved Zlatan from Kurodu. So
Yeah, because you're a good boy too.
so that's just what it is. I feel like Zlatan is very, very aware. He's very intentional about things that he does. Like especially with the kind of people that he moves. With kind of people. Like when it was blowing up, he was very, very attached to Davido.
Yeah.
It was like that time they feature and well, you understand? So he knows what to do to, like, he knows the kind of people to roll with, the kind of people knows to roll with. Like he had to like move away from Naira at some point.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that.
It's not like they're not guys.
We just moved away.
It's just like it's just in this industry.
Interest no longer align.
You have to know at some point. You can't be friends with everybody. Yeah. If your interests don't align, they don't align. Like it's the thing of your brand. As an artist, if you know your brand,
It's easy for
you know that some
Yeah.
things are not some things are not supposed to be associated with your brand, right? You don't give your audience that perception that this is your brand. You can, because then that is what you are known for, and to change that perspective can be a tough thing, because then you've gained some people that believe that you are this way, right? Then you now start telling that no, look like this way. It's not just people that they move with or this.
It's not.
It's almost impossible to correct.
Because they explain.
You
explain tire. That's the thing. So yeah.
It would be just like you mentioned at the point we saw where him and Naira were very close.
Yeah.
They had a very big song at the time. I would say a global song, but a big song in the country. Am I Yahoo Boy? And which led to so many issues. They got arrested. Came back. Recently we were in a club where we saw when a man just even threw his face. He came and man just moved his face. But then they are not cases of where we saw them saying you're fighting. It's just two people, adults who just no more aligning, and then we drift that part. Do you think that move from what's his name, from Zlatan was the best move in this interest in the music space?
Well, yes, I believe that was like the best one, because when both of them started their labels separately, because I think they started about the same period. Yeah, I knew Zlatan was different from his approach towards how he wants his label to go was different from what
Zanko
Records was different from what Mana Music was doing. And even the artists they brought, they were extremely different kinds of artists.
Yeah.
And so you know that this way you're almost right now and a competition, because I mean both of you are labels, separate labels. You are almost you're like a competition. You're already a competition already. It's the same market you're trying to penetrate. So one person has to, try to be ahead of the other person. And if we are friends, if we want to take our business more serious than our friendship, we let the business take the business part and let the friendship take the friendship part. And maybe for some cases or for some persons, they still want all of those bromance. Do you understand? While to get into their music and their label, and it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So one person will be like, okay, bro, they're fine. They may not have said it this way. They will just as adults, you don't have to say it.
Yeah, we just not say.
Just by the time you call me, say, Alpha, I did studio.
I'm busy.
I'm busy. By the time you do like 4, 5, 6 times,
you get the memo.
You don't get the message. And so for me, I feel like that was the case. It was not like a case of they fought or something. It was just a distancing case.
They matter.
So let's just do our music.
Anyways, finally to the biggest one I've ever seen in the music space that caused a whole lot of back and forth. I think this is like the biggest we've seen so far. It has been buzzing recently, but not like, I think the buzz about it has ended, but just revisiting the situation. It was the one that breathed one of the greatest guys we've ever seen so far, talking about Wizkid at the time. Wizkid began, everything about Wizkid began in EM when they had All Out to Boy and Banky, Wizkid, Skills. At the time, amazing guys doing it for themselves, All Out to Boy was looking like that love that should never end. Just continue with Banky fine man, Wizkid fine boy, Skills fresh boy. So like it was about fresh.
That song, baddest boy.
Bro, it was like that was like the only thing we needed, just be giving us that vibe and everything. But as lovely as that can be, as lovely as that seemed like on TV, it came to an end at the same time. And an end that I felt like an end that they took differently because they've handled it so well so far. Yeah. Nobody has come out. At best, you see Wizkid tweeting LOL. Lol. Well, obviously, doesn't talk too much. But then you see where they talk about Banky will be like, I think people like Sam Clef who were in the picture.
Yeah, like I don't have to mention how it was.
Yeah, but we're just there. Yeah. Now the Sam Clef not going to give us G saying, sweet happen. But from the Skills took him at the point to explain that when he left the team, he took everything from him. He just had the car, was sleeping in his car, and then he had the song in his hard drive, took the song out, and that's how it began again from the beginning. But then Wizkid, Banky, at best just emoji, LOL, tweets, and then just forget it.
I remember when Banky had his wedding, and people came to say, Wizkid go for the wedding. We hope this matter never stays. No still there. Wizkid just died anyway. Probably just. I don't deal around to attend. I know more thing. When I know they take and I say life one end.
Thinking about that, do you think it's one that still gets to Wizkid finally? Do you think it's one that still gets to him? And then what do you think? Do you think it's also the contract thing that also happened in that situation?
I doubt it to get to him at this point because he's way bigger than that right now. So
Almost surface is good though.
But that situation was well, I think it was probably contract. Because it's still the same thing. It boils down to, I feel like I should be getting more from you. That's Wizkid talking to the label now. And the label is telling you, this is what you signed with me. Look at it. This is what you say you're going to give us.
So we
2 albums, I mean 3 albums, or just 3 albums and I mean 2 albums. But I know you released 2 albums under them. You had to release that and you're under them before you left. So one of those things like, and sometimes the artist might be right, but I think sometimes in contracts you don't factor in growth.
Some people limit their growth when trying to sign a contract. For example, you know you are good, right? And then this contract says you are going to stay with us for 3 years, and you know you are good, but you're like looking at pointing 1 or 2 together. Say, okay, but in 3 years I should still be here, not knowing that God has different plans. That after your first album, you'll be bigger than the label. That's fine.
Exactly.
Do you understand? So, but because that contract is there, you cannot leave.
Sorry, before we come here, I feel like I don't also blame them. Let me tell you why. You play football.
You get.
Imagine a scout from Chelsea come to meet you right now. Chelsea's they are shambles. We need a savior right now to Chelsea. And then we'll see your scout, we'll see what you do. We want to get you as a footballer. And I say, okay, but the thing there is that because you need help. I say, okay, you'll be paid $10,000 for this period. Or at every point you get salary, at every point you increase your salary, every point. Because we are don't put you on that stage, we will take 60%. You take 40%. Now you look at $10,000, like okay, that's $4,000. $4,000 to you today will solve your immediate problem immediately. And it's every week. And then you go to Chelsea, boom, everywhere 2 seconds, everywhere scatter. You carry them, go champion, win champion, go Nigeria World Cup. Madrid come for your next contract, give you 2 million. What it means is that contract that you signed will still be honored. You'll not be getting less than 500, and you're like, I deserve more.
Exactly.
But I don't. So,
but that's
who would you blame?
That's exactly the situation that I felt really happened in this case, right? And it's not really anyone's fault.
You understand?
It's not anyone's fault.
It's just that Wizkid was thinking they're going to be considerate to say, okay, this money has gone this way.
They don't consider a contract.
Yes, contract.
They don't consider
business.
You understand? It's a business. It just feels like they could have factored in that kind of growth and what happens in that. Like in contract, I believe that I'm not a lawyer, Shao, but I believe that you should have a best case scenario and a worst case scenario. So you covered all your bases. You understand? So everybody knows exactly what is going to happen in every situation. Okay, this situation comes up, this artist becomes big. Okay. Let me put it like this. Let's say the label spends 5 million on you. Right? Everything that they've done from the beginning of your career up to that point, 5 million. But you've now made times 15 or times 20.
Let's say you made 100 million.
Exactly. Let's say you made. Now, if you had indicated in the contract, label has put so amounts, and if you make so level of, if you multiply that profit by so amount, then you can now revise the contract to this percentage. Okay, so now the percentage will now increase, or this. Those are the things that I feel like would have solved that situation. Yeah. But in every case, as in even not just Nigeria, I mean, that was
everywhere. Yeah.
Even right now, Mbappe is facing
exactly people fight over contract issues. So you can't really. We are just here saying it, but you can't really touch every single piece of your contract. So that's why you need to have a good lawyer, because your lawyers can find the loopholes
and
exactly to help you to
correct
exactly. So it's just. And
that's why it's not good. This I don't already, but then that's why it's not good to go out and sign 7 years contracts, 6 years contract.
9 years contract.
Chelsea fans, I saw a guy Chelsea just signed recently. I saw the clause and I knew that was the sign of a very useless club.
They say they do loophole. They say that.
And see the lawyer gets sense. They say the contract. I want us to laugh with you. This contract includes, we will pay your club. We are paying you. Let's say we are paying you £25 million for this player. But then, if this player win the league, he will get so and so amount. If he wins the FA, he will get so and so. If he wins the Champions League, because I just pay that because these 3 bonus they will never receive in their lifetime. Till that 7 years finish, they will never receive those 7 bonus in their life, because it's so bad that they will bring us to more patience. Because they're take the relegation. They will not bring us more patience because they're not the only Chelsea again.
Evidence will be the part of if we go to relegation.
You should put it. You will pay us. If I'm just like now, put it there. If I'm sending you, if you contributed to us in the relegation journey, you will pay us.
Chelsea fans will hate this reaction.
Please, they should watch it. I'm so. Wait, is that tears I'm seeing? I'm so happy the ambassador did this video. Please and please, by the way, guys, thank you for staying with us. We love you guys so much. Midday, nice having you on set. Everybody, nice having you on set. Rebon, nice having you on set. Thank you for doing what you do. We love you. We love you too. Bye, guys.